Hey guys, welcome back to another video. As you can see, we've got a box on my desk here today. It says Sheaffer. Now they make pens. I got this pen for my birthday. Well, we'll look at the box first, I guess. It says Sheaffer here, blank, got a little white thing, doesn't even fit all in the frame, nothing on that side, nothing on this side, nothing on that side, just a little silver kind of trim. Bottom, box made in Thailand, as you can see. Box opens up. Ooh, look at this. Very interesting pen. This is a Sheaffer Taranis. Now, I asked for a pen. I did ask for something in the range of £100, and I suggested something like a Platinum 3776 online, but we went to a discount, or the outlet store, that's what they're called, and it was a Sheaffer and Cross store. I wasn't there, my mum was there, and she was like, okay, £100 pen. These are like 120, I believe, in the UK to 150 new, and they had it at discount to about 80, so my brother gave me an extra 20 quid on top of the £100 I wanted for the thing, which is how much I paid for his birthday present. Sheaffer, registered trademark, Sheaffer logo, the new style even. We'll just put that aside a sec. In here, under the cover, you've got a warranty and care guide. Interesting, it tells you how to clean a pen. Clean these devices when not being used for some time when changing ink. To clean the nib section, unscrew the barrel, remove cartridge converter, hold nib under lukewarm running water, shake carefully with a dry and soft clean cloth, hold nib slit against cloth for 3 seconds to dry excess water, clean converter. It's interesting because it tells you to use lukewarm water, and usually people like that say to use distilled water, but I guess you don't really get that in the UK, especially considering hard water in our area. 2 cartridges, Sheaffer Script Blue and Sheaffer Script Black, which is interesting. Obviously proprietary Sheaffer cartridge. I was like, oh god, it doesn't have a converter in it. Then obviously I unscrewed the packet and unscrewed the pen itself even, and it had the converter inside the pen. Sorry, I just knocked the tripod there. That post is back in there, it's got a little handle to take it out. The pen removed from the thing, I'll just pop that aside a second, and there is 2 little elastic kind of cords that held it in place over this kind of thing. That's kind of just for decoration. Sheaffer, set that box aside, don't need that now. Here's the pen itself, very interestingly designed. I really like the design of the outside of this pen. Square at the ends, on top finial, just blank. Square at the ends, comes down, tapers down into a circular section. I think that's a really cool design. I don't know why, I just like it. Again, same with the other end. Very long clip, so Sheaffer on the side. Sheaffer dot of quality and excellence, or something like that. That's going to perform well for at least a good 100 or so years, but I doubt it because it's a modern Sheaffer. Vintage Sheaffers are obviously better. These are made in China, I believe, so you know, it's still a nice pen for what it is. Uncap it here, and here comes to where the interesting design aspects come of the pen. It's got a step down, and it says Sheaffer here in bold, big bold writing. Chrome trim obviously down there. Very interesting semi-hooded nib design. I kind of think it's very reminiscent of a Pilot Vanishing Point. It's kind of got that design where the clip sweeps up out of here, and it has that kind of ring down there, and obviously it retracts. This one's obviously just a cap pen, so it is different, but it's interesting, very interesting hooded nib design. I have heard it being said it's reminiscent of them trying to do an inlaid nib again, but I don't know. It's interesting. So Sheaffer kind of got like an engraving for the breather hole, very tiny nib. Now it did have a nib designation there. I've had it for just over a month now, and that's already rubbed off with daily use somehow, because even though you hold the pen here, you don't really hold it down there with the broad where it said it's nib grade designation there. That's very interesting. This is black plastic, doesn't get slippy even though it's shiny. It doesn't actually get slippy, which is good. So it's quite a comfortable pen to hold as well. The pen does post easily, but it's quite back heavy because it's obviously a metal cap. But it's overall quite a heavy pen anyway because the whole thing's made of metal. Did just draw myself there. That was a mistake. Bit of ink just drawn out of the nib slit as well, which is annoying. But oh well. It's very hard to see because it's very tiny. Very tiny feed as well, pressed up against the back of this. This is currently inked up with Waterman Serenity Blue. Like I said, I was like, oh god, it doesn't have a converter in it. Yes, it did when you unscrewed it. So it was already pre-installed, no ink in it, but I've literally just filled this up with Serenity Blue. So it's quite hard to see. And annoyingly, excuse me, it doesn't look like blue because it's dark black tinted plastic. Excuse me for the converter plastic housing, which is a bit interesting. Kind of makes it hard to see the ink level unless you hold it up to the light, but I can't do that because my camera's on the tripod. Brass inside, obviously this is a nice paint lacquer. I believe this is a forest green, the colour designation for this pen is. Very large amount of turns to unscrew the barrel. Here, again, like I said, a bit of step there, that's where the snap cap comes, and it obviously is flush with that. Now, it's a modern Sheaffer, like I said, it's not going to be anywhere near as good as the good old days of those vintage Sheaffers, whatever you want to call them. But it's still a very nice pen to use. It has a hint of feedback. I'm not going to do a writing sample because my handwriting's terrible. This is the Poor Penmanship channel. Actually, screw it. You know what? I'm going to do one. Let me just find a blank space in this conveniently placed notepad that I have on the side of the desk. Blank page. Yeah, why not? Here we are. This ain't going to fit here, is it? There's a bit of physics work behind there. I don't know if you can read that. Why not? Let's do it. Sheaffer Taranis. I'm not entirely sure how you spell that, so probably going to spell it wrong. I guess you could probably hear hint of feedback there. It's kind of like that pencil kind of effect, so it feels like you're writing with a pencil versus a pen. Now this is a broad nib, but I find it underwhelmingly medium. It's a wet pen. Obviously, it's got Waterman Serenity Blue ink in it. As you can see, again, more terrible handwriting. Not a dry pen by any means. Very wet, but it's a very fine line. For example, if I just grab out my Daily Writer Cross vintage pen designated as medium on the nib, this one seems a lot broader. Actually, I don't know, does it? This is using cross blue ink, by the way, and that one's drier, but if you did watch the video where I reviewed that one, I mentioned why it's dry. But it seems broader, and this is a Sheaffer Broad. Very similar. So obviously this is a vintage cross, this is a modern Sheaffer, and I believe that Cross owns Sheaffer now because they were both in the same store, at the outlet store apparently. So I don't know if they're under the same brand now. I don't know if they use the same nibs. All I know is that this is made in China. Yeah, made in China, mate. That's awful handwriting. That's actually because I was looking through the camera's viewfinder at the time. But yeah, made in China. Whereas this one is made in Ireland. I'm just getting pens everywhere. What have I done? What have I done? Why did I do that? Made in China. What? Made in Ireland. Beautiful. So different styles. Obviously, this is from the 80s. Well, that's an assumption. And this one is from the 2010s. Woo! So it is weird. but it's still a wet juicy pen because I like my wet juicy pens. And actually, I don't find it too bad that it is quite fine because I do write with cheaper papers. For example, I have this cheap copy paper. So yeah, it definitely makes it broader writing on the cheaper paper. So, you know, you can see that, and the fact that it's probably going to bleed through. But then again, if you check this one, then they kind of look the same because this one's drier. So, you know, this is a medium again, and this is supposedly a broad. There you go, just get this awful atrocity out of the way, because I'm the poor penmanship channel, and my penmanship is very poor. Again, this review of a Sheaffer Taranis, broad nib, very interesting design, very bold move of Sheaffer there. Don't believe they make this pen anymore, that's probably why it's in the outlet centre. I believe it's a discontinued model, but Sheaffer, very broad, very bold, very interesting. Broad nib, underwhelmingly fine though for what I wanted, unless that pen is just, this pen is just abnormally broad for a medium. I don't actually know. Like I said, tomorrow I'm going to buy some new pens because I just want to. I need to get some black ink for college. Got my exam season coming up. You have to write in black. You can't write in blue. So I'm going to go out, buy some black ink from WH Smith, the ever so popular brand in the United Kingdom for all your pen and stationery supplies. And I'm thinking of buying a Lamy Safari. We'll wait and see next time. And the reason I chose WH Smith is actually the cheapest place in my area to get a Lamy Safari. They do them in paper chase as well, but they're £1 more expensive. However, in paper chase, I've heard they do the special edition Lamy Safaris, and they might have some in stock. We'll just have to wait and see tomorrow, because that is when I'm going to record the video and see if it is actually what I got yesterday, as well as the black ink that I bought. Might be Parker Quink, might be Waterman Black, might be Lamy, the whatever the Lamy ink, black ink, I think it's just Lamy Black. But yeah, we'll see next time. Comment down below if you've reached it this far in the video, white dot, because that is the mark of Sheaffer's quality and awesomeness, and just overall, if your pen isn't up to standards, we'll make it better for you. Check out that camera. Very interesting.